How to regain her attraction and respect. Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach, and today I'm talking about how to regain her attraction and respect. So before I get into some of the more subtle points, let me just first drop you this major point, this major thing that's really, really important. And that is, in order to regain someone's attraction and respect, you have to make sure that this person, this girl that you're trying to re-attract, was already interested in you to begin with. Because if this girl wasn't interested in you in the past, then there's no way you can regain her attraction because that attraction was never there. So first of all, you need to make sure that this was a woman who was actually into you to begin with. If you are unsure whether or not this girl was actually into you to begin with, I highly recommend that you go and watch this video on how to tell if a girl likes you, to give you some more clarification if this girl actually did like you to begin with. But usually you should be able to instinctively know if a girl likes you. So now let's go into the more subtle things that you can start tweaking to regain her attraction and respect. So the first one is to basically become the exact opposite of what you were. Because obviously, if this girl was interested in you and now she's no longer interested in you, then obviously you was displaying some kind of behavior to put her off you. The only instance where you might not have actually done anything wrong was if there was an ex in her life or someone that she liked more than you in her life that she went to. Obviously, with that kind of stuff, you can't really help that. You can't really help if a girl is more emotionally invested in someone else. And therefore, if that person comes back into the picture, of course, she's going to pick them over you because she's more emotionally invested and she may have been on the rebound. But if that wasn't the case and you feel like she just lost attraction for you and she lost respect for you, then you need to become the exact opposite of what you was. You need to do the opposite of what you were doing that put her off. So were you needy and insecure, for example? So if you were needy and insecure, the opposite of that is to become attached and confident. So you may need to start working on your insecurities and to become more confident and less attached to the girls that you are dating. Because if you become really attached to the girls that you're dating, if you become really invested in your romantic relationships, and that becomes like a really high priority in your life, you're going to have all this emotional investment. And if you have a lot of emotional investment in something or in someone, you're going to make a lot of mistakes because you're not being calm and collected, because you've got all these feelings inside of you. You want to be with this person, you want to be with this girl, and if she starts to display that she is not attracted to you anymore, you're going to become very, very nervous and anxious about it, and you're going to want to try and do something to change the situation. And that's probably why you may have searched up this video. So you need to become less attached. You need to become more detached. Now, this doesn't mean that you become cold or mean. It just means that you don't have such a high emphasis on your romantic relationships. You kind of have to have this attitude of they can take it or leave it. And basically what that means, it's having the mindset of when you go out with someone, when you start liking someone, that, you realize that, you know what? This person is either going to like me or not like me. So I'm just going to be myself and basically just let whatever's going to happen. So you're basically fine if they stay in your life, but you are also fine if they leave your life, because you're confident in knowing that what is yours will stay. And if they decide to leave, if they start to become unattracted to you, you think to yourself, well, that's fine. If that's just how it's meant to be, right? Having that kind of attitude, that more relaxed attitude. Whereas if you are more attached, then you try to cling on to things. So you need to remove that emotional attachment. You need to become less attached. Again, it doesn't mean that you become cold or mean. It just means that, you let people come into your life and leave your life without trying to stop them, basically. Because what is meant for you will stay. So when you start displaying more of these more confident behaviors, these more unattached behaviors, this will give her the opportunity to start wondering about you and start missing you. Because if you were, let's say, like messaging her a lot, you're contacting her a lot, you were trying to do your best to regain her attraction by taking action, like messaging her, like trying to ask her out again, like trying to prove yourself in some way. When you stop doing that and you start to relax and become more at peace with the situation, she will start to wonder why you flew off the radar. And if she still is attracted to you, she will start pursuing you. She will start chasing you because she's realized that something has shifted. And she'll notice that because you're no longer around, you're no longer trying so hard, that she has to start trying harder to maintain that relationship, to keep that, basically that connection intact. So let's say this girl that you're interested in, I'm just assuming that this girl is really, really feminine, right? So in order to reattract her, you have to become more masculine, because that's how attraction works, right? If you are attracted to people that are really feminine, like feminine women, then you need to become more masculine. So you need to become a bit more tougher. You need to become a little bit more less emotional, right? Because if you've realized that you've become more emotional over this person and you've been acting emotionally, like you might have been sending soppy text messages, you might have been over pursuing, like having all of this emotion, right? Then in order to reattract her, in order to reattract someone feminine, you need to start acting more masculine, right? Now, this doesn't mean that you go around beating up people or anything like that. It just means that you need to just focus your attention on things that are a bit more masculine orientated. So this could be like your career. It could be, creating other things in your life. It could be actually physical activity. One of the great ways to like feel more masculine, right, is by like doing like a really like tough workout and stuff like that. Getting into your body is a great way to start feeling a little bit more masculine, right? So just start doing more of duty kind of things, right? Become a bit more mentally tougher and less emotional. And just by simply doing that, just by simply displaying more masculine behavior, she will automatically feel more attracted to you, because that's how attraction works. Femininity is attracted to masculinity, just like how masculinity is attracted to femininity, right? And if you are attracted to very feminine women, then your true essence is masculinity. And if you are not, basically, if you're being overly emotional, then of course you're not going to attract those feminine women into your life. You need to be more of a dude, basically. And a guy, like, masculinity isn't needy, it's not insecure, it is unattached and secure, confident. So you hear it a lot these days with, let's do like the typical like heterosexual male. There's a lot of talk recently about men having to be emotional, like expressing their emotions, which is obviously fine if that masculine person, if that guy wants to do that, because some guys don't want to talk about their feelings, right? And you don't have to feel forced to talk about your feelings, right? I know this is being pushed a lot, right? You don't have to talk about your feelings if you don't want to. Now, if you do want to, that's obviously fine as well. But, you don't have to pour your heart out, right, to, your girlfriends, the girls that you like, in order for them to be attracted to you, because that's not gonna work. There's a right and wrong way of, expressing yourself to women, especially the ones that you are attracted to. If you've got a lot of emotional baggage, if you've got a lot of stuff that you need to work through that is making you upset, that is making you emotional, the best person to talk to about that is an actual professional, like a therapist, right? If you've got a lot of emotional baggage, that's the person that you should be working through these things with, not the girls that you're interested in. And it's okay to talk about these things sometimes, to talk about things that are kind of bringing you down a little bit, but if you keep on doing it, then and especially if you're doing it to the girls that you really like, it's going to start putting them off you, and you're going to start turning into more of a friendship, because you who you get upset with and who you talk to about these things, you should usually be your friends sometimes, and but mostly your therapist. And if you start talking about all your emotions and things and start treating the girls that you like your therapist, it's going to become more pally, it's going to become more friendly, it's going to come more to like that kind of heart to heart that you have with your friends, right? As opposed to like an attraction thing, like a romantic relationship. Because if you start talking like that, it starts to become more of a friendship and less of a romantic relationship. So when you're trying to reattract a woman, you can't do it by giving them a sob story. right? You can't do it by making them feel bad for you. That's not going to make them feel attracted to you. No one is ever attracted to someone who they feel bad for and who they pity, especially if it's an ongoing thing that happens all the time. So become more solutions orientated. You know, realize that, yeah, you're a person with problems just like everybody else, but you're also focusing on solutions. You're not dwelling in those problems. You're not letting it get to you. You're not letting it take over and ruin your relationships with the women that you like. I hope you enjoyed this video on how to regain her attraction and respect. If you would like coaching with me, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com. On the shop page of that website, you should be able to find a free PDF download, which is a dating and relationships manual. If you do read it and you have any critiques or anything you feel like I missed out that I should add to it, then please let me know so I can make it the best product possible for those people that want it. Thank you so much, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Bye guys.